Hello everyone, my name is Emma Lawrence and I'm here with you today to talk about teaching timid beginners to swim. We know that not everyone is going to enroll their child in swimming lessons as a baby, and I'm here to reassure you and let you know that that's okay. We can still teach timid beginners how to swim and we can still have really successful outcomes. It just takes a little bit of time, it takes patience, and it takes regular opportunities to play outside of the formal lesson. So with all of those things, we will have really great success. Let's take a look at some foundations of what we need to do when teaching timid beginners to swim. Regular exposure is the key when learning to swim, and this is particularly vital for timid beginners. The more you take your child to the pool, the more they will relax. So give your child an opportunity to play outside of the formal lesson as much as possible, whether that be visiting the local pool, whether you've got a friend who's got a backyard pool, or whether that's going down to the beach and exploring that shallow water beach entry. That can be really fun for little ones who are just learning to swim. We're going to take a look at a clip where children are kicking on the ledge in very shallow water. What we're doing here is we're teaching children that the ledge is a safe place to be, and it's also a really great splash and warm-up activity to build that water confidence and water familiarization. So in this instance, kicking in the shallow water, we can restrict the depth of the child that they're kicking by kicking in shallow water, and we can also give some physical manipulation because children of this age aren't going to have very good control over their fine motor skills. So you might see that they've got really big out of control kicks. So the more we manipulate and give physical manipulation, the more we're going to create good neuromuscular patterns. And the more we develop these patterns, the more they'll transfer over into the swimming lesson. They'll get better coordination, and pretty soon you're going to have a little fish on your hands. Teaching breath control is really one of the first steps when teaching timid beginners. With breath control, there's a number of ways we can do it. We can still use that cup conditioning that we did when the babies were little, where we're pouring water over the face. So we might say, Emma, ready, go, and pour water. But this technique may become less effective with this age group. They may try to wriggle out of it. They may not like it at all. You may find that they'll actually really enjoy pouring water over your face, but they won't enjoy you pouring water over their face. So that's when our breath control and our self-submersions, where the child is putting their own face underwater, becomes really important. So here, what we're doing is we're doing lots of parental demonstrations or teacher demonstrations where we're showing the child how we put our face underwater. So I very often say, make a fish face, or make a balloon face, whatever it is, take a breath, eyes in the water, and lots of demonstrations so the children know. Initially, when the children are learning, we're not teaching them to blow bubbles, because if you blow bubbles, they may actually suck water up the nose or the mouth. So initially, we're just teaching them to hold their breath, and very soon they'll start to experiment and explore with blowing bubbles themselves. So breath control first with lots of parental demonstrations, and continue with cup conditioning if you can. Let the child pour water over your face, but breath control is really important for the children, and we want to build to probably 5 or 10 seconds and the ability to hold and stay underwater while you count for 5. has no place in the Learn to Swim lesson. So if the child is resisting in any way, we need to make sure that we back off, have fun, and encourage them to participate in their lesson and stay in control themselves. Making children relaxed and feel comfortable is the #1 priority, and very often children will feel more relaxed and more in control if they have access to shallow water. So what I encourage you to do is take your child to very shallow water where they can be in control, where they can stand up, where they can explore, and where they can be independent. If the adult or caregiver is taking them into deep water straight away, this may really frighten or scare the timid beginner. We talk about exploring shallow water a lot, and why is exploring shallow water so important? Well, it's important because it teaches children the difference between deep and shallow water, and obviously shallow water is a nice safe place to be. So we want to encourage lots of exploration in shallow water. With timid beginners, it's also a place where they feel safe and in control, whereas though if we're talking about deep water, that's a place where the adult is in control and not the child. So this activity where we're exploring shallow water or we're crocodiling in shallow water is really effective to build confidence, but you'll also see that it's also introducing a horizontal swimming position. So the child is able to crocodile in shallow water. And during this crocodile activity, you can have the child learn to have their legs float behind and to pull themselves along using their arms. They can do this with their face in the water. They can do this with their face out of the water. So there's lots of different variations to this exploring shallow water, this crocodile activity. Let's take a look. So we really want to build children's confidence, and a great way to do this is to teach them to be independent and to monkey around the perimeter of the pool. This is also a really important safety skill that children need to learn, where they can travel around the perimeter of the pool to a safe place where they can exit. So the monkey skill has many benefits. That's to build their confidence, to teach them to hold on to the side of the pool where it's safe to be, and also to allow them to move through the pool and around the pool to a safe place where they can exit. When we're first exploring deep water with timid beginners, it's really important that we don't force them or pull them out into the deep where they don't feel in control. What you want to do is you want to stay nice and close to the child. You want to outstretch your arms so that they know that you're there and that you're ready to support them. And you want them to actually initiate leaving the shallow ledge and coming out into the deep water. What I encourage you to do is to never step backwards. When your child is trying to reach you, stay nice and close. We're not yet at the stage where we're taking them underwater. This will come if we build skills slowly, but initially we're just outstretching our arms and we're telling our child to come give mum or dad a cuddle, and we may even do a little kick and cuddle out in the deep water. For timid beginners, it's really important that they experience happy and relaxed early submersions. Now, the individual will progress at their own rate. Do not rush, do not force. Take time and go slow. With the submersions, you'll start to see that the children really build confidence and they'll start to want to put their face underwater themselves. So once they're really doing that, you know that it's pretty close to them being able to do that relaxed submersion on their own. When you're encouraging them to submerge, there's two ways. Either that's submerging to an adult where you're outstretching your arms and you're still using your trigger words because you want the child to learn to wait until you give them a cue to enter the water for safety. So you're saying, Emma, ready, go, or in this case, it's Archie, ready, go. Swim out, and you'll see that they'll start to initiate their own submersions. Initially, don't lose the child's trust. Don't move too far back. Stay nice and close so we can maintain confidence. And then you can even start to swim them into a shallow ledge. So again, if we're swimming them into a shallow ledge, that's usually quite effective because the child knows that the ledge isn't going to move. They know that it's a safe place to be because they've spent lots of time exploring it. Now we will give them a double trigger. So we will say their name, Archie, ready, go, and we will lift and then guide them under where they can free float and pull up on the ledge, or submerge and pull up on the ledge. Let's take a look. The big thing to remember is don't rush. Work at the child's pace and build their confidence. Floating is generally more successful with children of this preschool age group because they understand, and you can tell them, let's float for the count of 10, and then you get to sit up. Now, the thing to consider though when teaching timid beginners is they may feel scared when attempting this activity, so they may not be very relaxed. So what we want to do is try to find ways to keep children relaxed. So you can back float on the adult's shoulder. That's a really nice place to back float where you can go cheek to cheek and the child can feel secure, and you can wrap your arms around them. You may also even like to do some back floating in shallow water. So that may be the shallow water of the ledge at the pool. And you can also do this shallow water floating even at home in the bathtub. So there's many ways that we can explore back floating with children of this age. Use lots of words of encouragement and positive praise, and allow the child to sit up if they're not feeling relaxed and secure. Remember, with back floating, we never want to force. It's always gentle and positive encouragement. I'm a really big advocate for reading children's body language, because when we read children's body language, it really tells us a lot of information. And as parents, you will be pretty switched on to your child's body language. And I encourage you to really respond to their needs, particularly when teaching timid beginners, because we don't want to frighten them. We want them to feel secure. We want learning to swim to be positive activity for them to go to. The last thing that I would like to see is us forcing children where they're crying or distressed, okay? That's really, really important to me. With timid beginners, you may find that different body languages that they have, they may be really stiff, they may shake uncontrollably, and this is a really good sign that they're quite scared if they're shaking, okay? Particularly in an environment that is cold, they may start to shake, but even in an environment where the water is really warm and your child's shaking, you might think, okay, they're really scared now because I can read their body language, I can see that in them. So pay particular attention to your child, particularly the timid beginner, so that we can make learning to swim a positive and a great place to be. Circuits, where you move around the pool and you practice different activities that you've been working on, are really effective for teaching timid beginners. The reason is it's a great way to do something for a little while and then distract and move on to something else. Distract, move on to something else. So marrying these skills together that you've been working on and utilising circuits are really effective for teaching timid beginners. You can still do circuits even at home in your backyard pool. So My favourite one is probably always going to be to teach children to monkey and move around the pool independently. Obviously, explore shallow water at the steps, whether that's whatever entry you've got, and doing lots of our cuddle kick, where we're encouraging children to jump out to us, we're rewarding them, we're having nice physical contact, and we're enjoying exploring deep water together. Let's take a look at how we've married the skills together with the children in this class. To end the lesson on a really positive note, to reward the children's success, to reward the parents' success, and to know that we're really proud of the things that they've done during the lesson. So that may be that you finish the lesson with a little song or a little game, whatever the children find fun and exciting. It may also be appropriate to have that goodbye song or whatever it is, so that if you've got a child that's really getting upset in the lesson and you've tried to soothe them and calm them, you don't want to keep them in the pool for a prolonged period of time. So you might say to the child, "It's okay, I understand you want to get out. Let's sing our goodbye song so that we can wrap up today's lesson and we can come back tomorrow." I really don't want to force children if they're really upset and really crying. I really wouldn't even like to see them get into the pool while they're crying or upset. So take them to the pool regularly, let them have lots of opportunity to play. If you find that the child has been upset or has been crying during the swimming lesson, I would go back and revisit the steps. So make sure that you're allowing them enough time to explore shallow water. Shallow water is where they're going to be in control and where they're going to be relaxed. Go back, make sure that you're giving them regular opportunities to play outside of the lesson. Where are they going? Are you taking them to the local council pool? Are you taking them to friends' pools? Are you able to get down the beach and let them explore that shallow water beach entry there? So lots of opportunity to play, okay? Remember, learning to swim should be a positive and a happy experience for both parent and child. The learn to swim process follows certain basic principles. Those principles are water familiarization, so becoming relaxed in the water, breath control, teaching baby to hold their breath on command, submersion, going underwater, free floating, so learning to free float, which is the basis of all learn to swim, propulsion, so learning to kick and paddle, then learning to breathe, so coming up for a breath, and of course, marrying all of those skills together where the baby can finally start to swim and breathe. And water safety education and water safety skills, that underpins the entire learn to swim process. So that again, water familiarization, breath control, submersion, free floating, propulsion, and our water safety skills. I really hope you've enjoyed learning about swimming and water safety with me today. Remember, these online tutorials are not designed to replace formal learn to swim lessons. I encourage you to get down to your local swim school and enroll in lessons today. You won't regret it. Learning to swim is a gift for life. Now, if you've got any questions, I'm more than happy to help you. So make a comment in the box below and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Of course, you've got to remember our motto, kids alive, do the 5.